My name is Toan, 36, from Austin, Texas.
During the day, I'm a software sales executive, and at night, I'm a chef in this kitchen. I love to cook, and let's just put it this way. After a hard day at work, there's nothing more I like to do than to get in the kitchen and make a meal. You know, on the weekends, I really try to have dinner parties where I invite friends to come over. I think there's no better bonding experience than to get to know somebody than over a meal and some cocktails. I think food is for lovers, and I really want to be Cupid. My family immigrated to America when I was 3 years old. Family of 5, $20 to our name. And we all had chores in the house. My chore was to be my mom's sous chef. So ever since 3rd or 4th grade, I've been helping her cook. For my family, the only time that I got to see them was at dinner. And I really felt that me contributing to make that meal for my family to get together was really important. And that's really led to why I think that food really brings people together. I haven't had any formal culinary training. I did take a class on sauces and the 5 mother sauces. So that's why you'll never eat store-bought gravy in this house. Culinary dreams for me, I often think I should go open a restaurant. And a lot of friends tell me I should do that. But I fear that if I do that, it'll become work and I won't enjoy it as much. So one of the things I love about traveling is being able to eat at great restaurants around the world. Recently, I went to French Laundry in California and I actually met Tom Keller. Chef Keller is one of my culinary idols. And one of the signature dishes that he has is pork belly. I actually really fell in love with that meal, and so I've recreated it at home. I do pork belly confit. So I take pork belly that I cook in duck fat. And if you can imagine that, how decadent is that? It's pork fat cooked in duck fat. And then I sear it tableside, so the skin is super crispy and the meat is super tender. Another dish that I really love to make is chocolate covered bacon with a coconut sorbet and a honey drizzle. That is an absolutely sexy dessert that I often make. It's a fan favorite at my house. It exudes sexiness. What am I like in the kitchen? In the kitchen, I'm very focused on orchestrating to make sure that all the components are finished at the same time. However, it doesn't mean you can't have fun. And I like to have music going, cocktails in everybody's hand. And some people like to come over and they like to sip a cocktail and watch, and other people like to actually get into it and help and be a sous chef. And I actually love to teach folks new techniques that they can take home into their kitchen. For me in the kitchen, it's all about teaching, but it's also about execution. My friends would describe me in general as being somebody who's very adventurous and very passionate about life. You know, that's a great question about what my friends would say in the kitchen. Let's ask them.
The passion that he has in life, you can taste in his food. He's also very daring in terms of trying new things, like what we had tonight with the watermelon. It was something that came to him in an idea, and as always, it turned out perfectly. So he's extremely passionate, he's very creative, and he never disappoints in his food.
One great thing about Toan's cooking is that he's able to take basic foods that I will cook every day, but he puts a very different twist on it and makes it amazing.
My style of cooking is to use the freshest ingredients. And that means going out to the farmer's market and talking to the farmers about their latest harvest and learning more about flavor profiles for them. My food point of view is cooking is for lovers. I think there's nothing more special than to cook for somebody else. You know the old adage, it's better to make something than to buy something. Well, anybody can go out to a fancy restaurant. I really want to inspire the other home chefs in America that date night doesn't necessarily mean that they need to go out to a restaurant, that they can do this at home. And it still has the same intimacy and the same feel, and it's very special to do it at home. Something that you wouldn't know about me is I was in the Army, and I'm very proud of my military service. I also got injured in the military, and I'm a disabled vet. Every January, my charity hosts a chili cook-off, which benefits veterans and disabled veterans. What am I passionate about when I'm not in the kitchen? I'm pretty passionate about life. Last year, my life was getting pretty static in DC, and I decided to up and move to Austin, Texas, which has been a wonderful town to live in. I volunteer at the animal shelter with a program called Jog a Dog, where we can take a dog out on our runs in the morning, and then the dogs actually get out of their cage for an hour or so. Something else that I've recently learned is how to paddleboard. And paddleboarding is like kind of surfing and kayaking all in one. I really enjoy it. It really allows me to clear my mind out on the calm lake. The thing that I really have enjoyed about Austin the most has been just the nightlife. Austin is also known for their live music. And I love to walk at night on 6th Street and just listen to all the wonderful music that's coming out from the musicians playing live. There's some bars that I go to all the time where I can play games with my friends or get on stage and sing. Things that I wouldn't have done in DC. I really have tackled this past year with a renewed passion for life. I applied to be on Chopped Amateurs because I want to show the rest of America that you don't have to be an executive chef at a fancy restaurant with a bunch of schooling to make those fancy restaurant meals at home. I think I could compete and win a $10,000 meal because I've been doing this. I normally routinely enter myself into food contests, routinely win chili cook-offs. Recently I was in a gumbo contest with a bunch of folks from Louisiana and I won. I think I can do it because I have been doing it. I've seen Chopped. I actually really enjoy watching Chopped. And I think the ingredients are sometimes odd. Recently there was a show where the ingredients were fish head and cereal. And actually I knew exactly what I would have made with it, and I think it would have been a winning dish. So I really enjoy the challenge of incorporating new surprise ingredients, and it really just takes a good chef to know how to incorporate that into a wonderful meal. I am the next amateur Chopped champion because food is such an important part of my life. You know, I've traveled the world, I've tasted different food flavors, I know what people want to eat, and I can take those funky ingredients that you're going to give me on Chopped and make them a wonderful dish that the judges will absolutely love. What separates me from the other cooks in the country is really two things. One, it's my philosophy about food. Upscale food in a casual environment where everybody's learning and contributing to the meal. And certainly my quest for new things. I'm always trying new flavors. Recently, I woke up in the middle of the night in a panic, and I really thought about how would I make Italian fried rice? And so that's kind of who I am at the very core. And that's why I will be the next amateur Chopped champion. The Food Network should choose me to be on Chopped because I've already proven that I can get pretty far in a food competition. But more than that, I've lived the American dream. Immigrant to this country, $20 to our name, successful businessman, military veteran, and accomplished chef at home. I really want to showcase these skills for the rest of America so that they can take these dishes that I'm making and they can do it at home. Something else that you should know about me is, as a winner of $10,000 on the show, I would donate my winnings to a veteran that wants to start culinary school to help them get started. Toan Do, 36, Austin, Texas.